Welcome back, viewers. This is Devin once again with Oriana, and today we have our special guest, Sue. So Sue is one of our local vendors. If you like cheese, like me, you are going to be talking to the right lady. So Sue, go ahead and introduce.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Oriana viewers and Facebookers. My name is Sue Kurta, and I'm the owner and cheesemaker at Boss Mouse Cheese in Kingsley.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today. So what are you going to share with our audience?
First of all, thank you, Oriana, for even wanting to reach out to me. Crazy times, and it's I think it's super important that we keep talking to one another, and video chats are great. I've never really video chatted at any time in my life until the last few weeks, so that's kind of new. But connecting with people and seeing somebody's face is really important. So I'm thrilled you want to chat with us and check in.
Absolutely. I know. I was feeling really disconnected the first week or so working from home, and I was like, I need to figure out something to fix that. So that's how this was created. So thank you for being a part of it. It's great to see you. All right. So we are probably going to be talking about cheese. What kind of cheesy talk are we talking?
Cheesy talk. The only sort of sad news that I have to tell today is we have stopped cheese production for the time being. The nice thing about making aged cheese, which is what we make at Boss Mouse, is it's just that it's aged. So when you make cheese, we have a cave full of cheese. So we're not out of cheese, but I'm not making, for the last month, I have not been purchasing any milk and making new cheese. When you run a business, money going out, money coming in, we got a word that the Traverse City Farmers Market is going to delay its opening date, which is usually the first week in May. So I have to be mindful of that. So we're out of cheese production. There's still some wholesale coming in and some online orders. We do a great Cheese of the Month Club, and our smoked butter is available, and our vegan smoked butter as well on our website. So that's still available. But cheese production day to day, I do cave maintenance. Aging cheeses need brushing and turning and some care, so I do a bit of that, but mostly it's pretty quiet in the cheese barn.
Well, very cool. Well, I'm glad that we still have access to your cheese and that smoked butter and the vegan smoked butter. We need to bring that into Oriana. I know lots of people would really appreciate that.
It's a great option. We don't produce vegan butter. We buy Earth Balance soy-free margarine, and we just put it through the same process we do with our dairy butter, which is cold smoking, wrapping it in wax paper, and doing an applewood smoke. So it's a fantastic. A lot of smoked products or things in the vegan world are smoke flavoring, and this is actually smoked, and it's in paper. We don't smoke it with anything. I'm a vegetarian, so there's no meat or anything out there, and it's a fantastic. We just smoke Earth Balance, but still, it comes out same as the smoked butter, so pretty delicious.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So you talked to me about a recipe. So a lot of us are kind of, going out shopping maybe once or twice every few weeks, trying to load up a little bit, and then maybe we have some leftover things. So what kind of recipe are we talking today?
Aren't we eating such weird things? This morning I had some leftover quiche that I had as a sandwich. So, and the other morning I had chili as a burrito. We're making some pretty funky.
We're getting creative. I had ravioli at 11:30 yesterday. It's it doesn't matter.
Everything's a sandwich.
Exactly.
Just put an egg on it, then you're good. Yes, I have a recipe for the viewers today. It's a recipe I tell people a lot at the farmers market about this, but it's an old-fashioned French recipe. Cheese making is quite a historic craft, and my parents are both immigrants, and there's a lot of frugality. If you know any older folks, usually your grandparents and beyond, frugality was really key in life, and we're all tasting a little bit of that now with how our lifestyles right now. But there's a wonderful thing you can do with leftover cheese, which I bet you there's some people, and maybe may or may not, I might be included in that group, that have cheese in their fridge that's sort of from Christmas, or something you're not even sure what it is, or something someone brought you. If cheese has a bit of mold on it, go ahead and cut it off. It's perfectly fine to eat. There's a recipe from France called fromage fort, and it means strong cheese. And I put the recipe in. We weren't sure if the chat's going to show up on the video, but you can just remember the recipe. It's 3 ingredients. There's no you can just remember it.
We'll include it too when we post it, so
Okay.
you're good.
Take a food processor or blender, put in any variety of your leftover cheese. So like really that blue cheese from the Super Bowl party or whatever you got. It can be any combination, really any combination. Cut the mold off, and if it's dried up, if it's pre-shredded, even if it has a dot or two of mold, you're okay. Put that in the blender and food processor with the following two things. A couple of cloves of fresh garlic, and then enough dry white wine, or if you want to do an alcohol-free version, some vegetable stock. Just enough to get it going. It's going to be kind of like hummus. It's going to become a pate. That is called fromage fort in France. And that stuff, a few things. You can eat it just fresh. It tastes kind of like fondue with crudité or on crackers. My favorite way to eat it is it becomes way more delicious than its parts. That's the interesting thing. Put some on some toast and broil it, either in your oven or food or toaster oven. It makes the fanciest, like most exquisite grilled cheese you've ever had. Like a $25 grilled cheese from the fancy place. That's what they're doing. And you can freeze it, but you can't freeze aged cheese. It's not going to thaw very nicely, but you can freeze fromage fort. So take your old cheese drawer and recreate it into fromage fort, and it's just delicious.
Oh, yum. That sounds so good. And like an easy crowd pleaser, but you're also being very resourceful. I love that.
Great use of leftovers. I try to be a pretty frugal person, especially these days with what's happening. Cooking is quite fun and exciting, I think. So you can go through your pantry and make some really creative things. And omelet or quiche sandwiches, like I said.
Absolutely.
But the
Ravioli for breakfast. Whatever.
Yeah, fromage fort's a great use for old cheese, and it's really tasty. I'm not just saying it, like fantastic. So that's my tip, my old cheese tip.
Yum. Thank you so much. Well, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to share with our community or any little things you'd like to say in appreciation for our community today?
I would, like I said when we first started, I'm so grateful you reached out to me. I think throughout this whole thing, I'm no one to sit here and say, I have no tips on what you should eat or not eat. Or I think with immunity and with trying to stay healthy, it's my personal belief that the first component of that is your mental health, more than something, a tonic or anything else. It's your mental health. And I want to say to everybody, call up and reach out to your single friends and your single family. They're more single than ever right now, and they have no one to hug and no one to eat dinner with. So it's really important to be a friend right now. And there's no right or wrong way to feel. I find everyone's processing. This is take it day to day, but gosh, I've seen the whole gamut from people that are in depressions to making fun of it, and everything in between, and none of it's right or wrong. I say, feel how you're going to feel. It's okay. Don't be ashamed. There's lots of resources. I think right now there's put your phone down maybe and turn the news off. I think that helps. And pick up a book, or there's tons of free stuff online. I've really been enjoying some online concerts, and the other day I watched 6 movies in one day. It was great. Watch some old movies, call up your friends every day, do this video stuff, explore some podcasts. It's a time we can slow down, process, and I would say that's for what that's worth. That's what I would say.
I think that's incredibly valuable, and I appreciate it. I understand those emotions. Some days it feels, like, okay, this is fine. We can do this. Like, especially when the sun is out, it seems everything's like a little more tolerable. And then a few days of clouds, you're like, okay, this is feeling more isolating, or, so it's very true. So thank you. All of those feelings are completely valid. This is new for all of us, but we are all in it together, which is very comforting, knowing even if we have to be socially distant, we at least are all experiencing it together.
It is a little comforting. You said earlier you were walking your dogs. That's something we're hearing it all the time. First of all, everybody quit telling everybody how to wash our hands. We know how to do that. But I think the great holy Mother Nature is available to everyone. If you just go outside, even if you're sitting on your back porch, just go outside, because it's available to everyone. It's right there all the time. Take some deep breaths, look at the sky, and I'm getting hippie on you here, but really, really get outside when you can. It really, really does work. And breathe some air and it'll clear your mind. And again, I think that's the biggest thing we all got to watch here is our minds. Yeah. So yeah, go outside and make some fromage fort and call a friend.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful thing too. Nature's been here for us this whole time. It's always been there. And so I think seeing everyone walking around and, like everyone's out and about, and yeah, it's because we don't have a lot of other things going on right now, but like, what a fantastic way to connect to our earth. And I've seen studies showing like South Korea, China, the air pollution levels are so dramatically different.
Yes, LA, and there's dolphins back in the canals in Venice, and I
Exactly.
think Earth's getting a little break from us, which is great to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it was much needed. Yeah, yeah. But thank you so much, Sue. Your time is very appreciated and valued. So take care and maybe we'll be able to chat again soon.
Great. Thanks
All
again.
right. Of course.